Here's what separates financially free people from people who struggle. They hit specific milestones at specific ages. By age 35, financially successful people have accomplished something very specific. They've hit 7 financial milestones that set them up for genuine freedom by 45 or 50. People who don't hit these milestones by 35 typically never do. They fall further behind because they lack the foundation. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what these 7 milestones are, why each one matters, and how to know if you're on track. If you want to understand what genuine financial progress looks like, this is the video. Let's dive in. Before I explain the milestones, let me establish something important. These aren't arbitrary. They're based on 15 years of studying wealth accumulation patterns. Most people have vague financial goals. Get rich. Be financially secure. Have enough money. These are too abstract. They don't create action. Specific milestones do. When you know exactly what you should accomplish and by when, you can work backward and create a plan. Here's what we're going to cover. I'm going to walk through each of the 7 milestones in order. For each one, I'll explain what it means, why it matters, and what realistic numbers look like. Finally, I'll give you a framework for assessing where you stand right now and what you need to prioritize. By the end, you'll understand not just what financial success looks like at 35, but the path to get there and why it matters. Let's start. Milestone 1. Emergency fund established. The first milestone is having a fully funded emergency fund. This isn't optional. This is foundational. By age 35, you should have 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a separate, accessible account. Not invested, not tied up, liquid, available for genuine emergencies. Let me be specific. If your monthly expenses are $4,000, your target is $12,000 to $24,000 in emergency reserves. That's your safety net. That's your financial airbag. Why does this matter at age 35 specifically? Because by 35, you should have been earning for 10 to 15 years. You should have had time to build this foundation. If you haven't built an emergency fund by 35, that's a warning sign. It suggests you're either earning less than you need to survive or you're spending everything you earn. The emergency fund accomplishes several things. First, it prevents crisis decisions. Your car breaks down. You need a new transmission. $3,000. Where does that money come from? If you have an emergency fund, from the fund. You don't use a credit card. You don't panic sell investments. You use your fund as designed. Second, it enables better life decisions. Without an emergency fund, you're vulnerable. You can't leave a bad job. You can't take strategic risks. You can't invest aggressively because you need your money available. With an emergency fund, you have breathing room. You can think long-term instead of survival mode. Third, it creates psychological security. Knowing you have 3 to 6 months of expenses covered creates a sense of financial stability. That stability matters. It affects your decision-making, your stress level, your quality of life. By age 35, this should be non-negotiable. If you don't have it, that's your immediate priority before anything else. Milestone 2. No high-interest debt. The second milestone is eliminating high-interest debt. Credit cards, personal loans, payday loans, predatory lending. All of it gone. What's high interest? Anything over 10%. Credit cards at 17 to 25% are wealth killers. They need to be eliminated. Period. By age 35, after 15 years of earning, you should have eliminated this debt. If you haven't, you've been servicing creditors instead of building wealth. You've been paying interest instead of investing. That's a problem. Here's why this matters. High-interest debt prevents wealth building. Every dollar paid to credit card companies at 17% interest is a dollar not working for your future. It's money flowing backward. For 15 years, you've been working. Some percentage of your income should have gone to eliminating this debt. If it's not eliminated by 35, that suggests your income allocation has been wrong. This doesn't mean you should have zero debt. A reasonable mortgage is fine. A car loan at 3 to 5% is acceptable. Student loans can make sense. But high-interest consumer debt? That needs to be gone by 35. If you're carrying significant high-interest debt at 35, that's your second priority. Eliminate it. It's the biggest wealth-building obstacle you have. Milestone 3. Consistent investing established. The third milestone is having established a consistent investing habit. You're regularly contributing to retirement accounts and diversified investments. By age 35, you should have been investing for at least 10 years consistently. That means maxing your 401k, or at least getting the full employer match. That means regular contributions to index funds or dividend stocks. That means money is flowing to investments every month automatically. Why does this matter? Compound interest. If you start investing at 25 and invest consistently until 65, that money compounds for 40 years. The returns on early contributions dwarf later contributions because of time. Let me show you the math. If you invest $10,000 at age 25, earning 8% annually, by age 35, that single investment is worth approximately $21,600. By age 45, it's worth $47,000. By age 55, it's worth $102,000. By age 65, it's worth $218,000. That's the power of starting early. But here's the critical part. If you don't start until age 35, that same $10,000 only has 30 years to compound. At age 65, it's worth $102,000, less than half. And you've missed the opportunity to invest in years 25 through 35. By 35, your investing habit should be established. You're not trying to be a trader. You're not picking individual stocks. You're consistently contributing to diversified investments and letting compound interest work. If you haven't established this habit by 35, that's urgent. You've already lost 10 years of compounding. You can't get them back, but you can start now. Milestone 4. Positive net worth. The fourth milestone is having positive net worth. Your assets exceed your liabilities. What does this mean? Add up everything you own: home equity, investments, vehicle value, anything of value. Subtract everything you owe: mortgage balance, car loans, student loans, credit card debt. The difference is your net worth. At 35, this number should be positive. Let me show you realistic numbers. Someone who bought a home at 25 with a $300,000 mortgage at 4%. By age 35, after 10 years of payments, they've paid down the principal to approximately $260,000. The home might be worth $350,000 now. Home equity, $90,000. That alone creates positive net worth. Add in investments accumulated over 10 years, even modest amounts, and positive net worth becomes realistic. Someone investing $5,000 annually for 10 years at 8% growth has approximately $63,000 in invested assets, plus some savings, plus any other assets. Easily positive net worth. But here's what's critical. If at age 35 your net worth is still negative, you owe more than you own, that's a serious problem. It means you've been accumulating liabilities faster than assets. It means your financial decisions have been destructive. It means you need an urgent financial reset. Positive net worth means you've been building. You've been making decisions that create assets. You've been moving forward. That's fundamental. Milestone 5. Multiple income streams. Developing the fifth milestone is having multiple income streams established or developing. You're not completely dependent on one job. By age 35, you should have started building income beyond your primary job. Maybe a side business generating a few hundred monthly, maybe rental property generating passive income, maybe freelance work or consulting, maybe investments generating dividends, something beyond your paycheck. Why does this matter? Diversification. Your job could disappear, your industry could decline, your company could downsize. If your entire income depends on one employer, you're vulnerable. If you have multiple streams, you have security. Additionally, multiple income streams enable wealth building. If your primary job provides living expenses, additional income can go directly to investments and assets. That accelerates wealth building dramatically. By age 35, after 15 years of earning, you should have experimented with alternative income sources. You should be developing something. It doesn't need to generate significant income yet, but you should be building infrastructure for multiple streams. If you still have only one income source at 35, that's your third priority. Start building something: a side business, a skill you can freelance, rental property, anything that creates income beyond your job. Milestone 6. Own appreciating assets. The sixth milestone is owning appreciating assets. Real estate, investments, business assets. Things that increase in value. By age 35, you should own your primary residence. A home is the most common appreciating asset, and it should be purchased earlier in your wealth building journey, not later. You're building equity. You're benefiting from appreciation. You're using leverage strategically. Beyond your home, you should be accumulating other appreciating assets, investment accounts, potentially rental property, business equipment, or intellectual property, assets that increase in value over time. Why does this matter? Appreciation is passive wealth building. Your home appreciates without you doing anything. The stock market appreciates without you managing it. Real estate appreciates without your involvement. Ownership of appreciating assets is how wealth compounds. By age 35, your asset base should be established. You should own your home. You should have substantial investments. You should potentially own rental property or other income-generating assets. Your balance sheet should reflect real ownership. Milestone 7. Financial freedom is in sight. The seventh milestone is that financial freedom is in sight. Not achieved yet, but visible. This means your non-work income, streams, investments, and assets are on a trajectory that suggests you can achieve financial independence by 45, 50, or 55 at the latest. You can see the path. You understand the math. You're tracking progress. What does this mean practically? Your net worth is substantial and growing. Your investments are compounding. Your real estate is appreciating. Your income streams are growing. You're 3 to 5 years away from being able to live primarily on investment income, rental income, and business profits rather than employment income. By age 35, if you've hit the previous 6 milestones, this one should be obvious. Your financial trajectory is clear. You're not wondering, will I ever be financial independent? You're planning, how and when will I be financially independent? This is the milestone that separates true financial progress from spinning wheels. It's the milestone that proves the first 6 milestones are working. Let me give you a framework for assessing where you stand at whatever age you are now. If you're under 35, use this as a roadmap. Assess where you are on these 7 milestones. Identify the gaps. Create a plan to hit each milestone before 35. If you're at or near 35, honestly, assess which milestones you've hit and which you haven't. This isn't judgment. This is assessment. You need clarity on where you stand. If you're over 35, don't despair. The milestones still apply. You've just lost time, but the math is still the same. Emergency fund, eliminate high-interest debt, establish investing, build positive net worth, develop multiple income streams, own appreciating assets. These don't stop mattering after 35. They become more urgent. Let me crystallize the core message. Financial milestones matter. They give you targets. They create urgency. They enable planning. The 7 milestones by age 35 are emergency fund, no high-interest debt, consistent investing, positive net worth, multiple income streams, own appreciating assets, financial freedom visible. These aren't optional. They're foundational. Missing them at 35 means you're likely behind permanently. The milestones compound. Each enables the next. They work as a system, not independently. Most people don't hit these milestones because they're not taught, progress is invisible, culture works against them, and there's no clear plan. But you now know. You can plan differently. Most importantly, it's not too late if you're past 35. The milestones still apply. The math is still the same. Start now. If this content was valuable, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to this channel. I release new content every week on financial milestones, wealth building, and achieving financial independence. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.